welcome. Happy New Year. Welcome to another Temple Talk. This is our first Temple Talk of 2025. We were on vacation for the last couple of ones and we're back. And today we have a really good topic for you. We're really excited, kicking off the new year with all of our vacay inspo and just everything that's been dropping in around saying yes to your wildest, craziest, biggest dreams, visions, and desires.
Do we want to start maybe by sharing a little bit about our trip? I feel like that's...
Let's reel it back. We've been gone for a couple of weeks, so
yeah, I feel a little rusty. I feel like we need to reconnect or get comfortable again with who we are, what we do.
We're currently in a ice storm, just so you know. We're having a winter snow day today. All right, they're joining. They're jumping on.
So yeah, where do we even start? I guess we left off at we were getting ready to go on a vacation.
Yeah.
So you went on vacation. I guarantee you, I promise you, it's me. I'm just a little darker.
He got his Mexican back.
I did get my Mexican back. And I realized last night, I was laying in the couch, I realized how burned I got. I'm like actually peeling. I'm not supposed to be peeling.
If you would listen to me, I tell you, one, you need more sunscreen, and two, you need to be lotioning.
I learned the hard way in our previous vacation. We went to Mexico, and Kara's, you need to wear some sunscreen. I'm like, I don't need no sunscreen. I'm Mexican. I don't peel. I don't burn. Oh my god, I got so burned. My skin was just like falling off of me for days and days.
You were like a snake.
And this time, I wore sun lotion, sunscreen, and I still peel.
How many times did you actually put sunscreen on?
And let's say I went from like totally like not being in the sun at all whatsoever for 2 months. I went here in St. Louis to going into like the Caribbean with the 80-degree weather, the reflection of the sun in the water. So I don't think my body was used to it. But yeah, I got dark quick.
I just feel dry. I just feel it. We came back and I just feel so dry. The air is so dry here. The kids are chapped lips. We came home, got another illness, and I'm just like so fucking over it. So we've been like back to back, some degree of an illness moving through our family since before Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you have 5 kids. Like one gets it, and the other one gets it. And honestly, like by the time the last one gets it, it's like it feels like it's almost starting all over again.
It's literally been like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's literally been like that. Which that's how we like walked into our vacation. And Mundo was like barely hanging on by a thread. I feel like we both were. We had both gotten sick like the week we were leaving. And then we still had to like wash everything, pack everything, get all the like last minute things that needed to be
like
purchased.
I was so glad that it was a cruise, because the first 2 days I felt like I was just having like a letdown. Like I was just like relaxing into the vacation, because the first 2 days like all I wanted to do was like sleep and just like chill and not do much. And I was happy that it was a cruise and that we weren't moving and doing all that stuff, because the first 3 days that's what we did. We just cruised to the first island, which was St. Thomas. And by the time I got to St. Thomas, I was feeling a lot more relaxed. I was feeling like I was ready to be present for the experience.
Yeah, we napped for those first like 3 days. Like we took naps, and I do not ever take naps. Eddie's a pretty consistent napper. I'm not a napper, like ever. And I napped every single day. And I was like, what is going on? And I was like, I didn't realize we were so tired, or what maybe it took for us to like prep for the trip, because we had 2 hotel stays, 2 flights, and then we were able to finally like board the ship. So it was just like a lot of travel and a lot of preparation. And we traveled with my parents and my sister also, so there was like 10 of us in total. It was a lot. It was a lot.
It was fun. The kids had a blast. They had a lot of firsts. For some of the kids, it was their first time flying. It was their first time in the ocean. It was their first time in a cruise. It was their first time outside the country. So they had a blast. They had a great time. And I don't know, the cruises are like ridiculous. They have everything that you can ever think of. They have a mall. Okay? They have this big old mall in the middle of the ship.
Yeah.
They have theaters. They have like so much food everywhere. They have arcades, anything you can think of. So the kids were having a blast, especially our oldest. They were just like roaming the ship all day. They were coming to bed till 2 in the morning, just like exploring and meeting new kids. And so they definitely had a great time. For us, it was a little bit of work. I definitely enjoyed it, but yeah, it was work. We're having to manage 5 kids.
Yeah. But there was a lot of inspiration that this experience offered us, which is really what prompted today's conversation. Because we went to St. Thomas, and then we went to St. Kitts. Oh, and there was a little bit of vomiting and action that happened also. Let's not forget those fun times.
Yeah, I got sick.
I got sick on Christmas Eve. Our middle son got sick on Christmas Day. Thankfully, it was short-lived. It was like short-lived, but then where did we go after that? Then we went to Puerto Rico, and then we went to Haiti.
And so we're recapping the experience, right? Kara and I both started seeing like what this like cruise line had created. The magnitude of this dream that somebody had, right? There was like 4,400 people on this ship. That was just like the people that were the guests, and there were like 1,300 employees on this ship. So that's almost 6,000 people on this ship. Okay, and then this thing was ginormous, and like I said, it had everything in there. And then after that, the last day when we got to St., they announced that we were going to have the same experience that we were having in the cruise, but we were going to have it on this peninsula that really felt like an island.
Yeah, they call it an island.
And it was owned by the cruise ship. And God, holy crap! This area was big, and I have 3-4 different beaches. I have a zip line,
roller coasters.
It had tramp. What do we call it?
The
little
tram. Its
tram.
own little transportation.
Yeah,
tram.
And it had a huge restaurant kitchen area. It was rude, and it was super
like an
nice.
artesian market.
Yeah, and we were like thinking like, that's crazy, man. Like somebody dreamt about this. Somebody dared to like create this. And I was like, man. And then so it inspired us to be like, you know what? Yeah, what are the limitations that we're putting ourselves? How big can we go? And I want to say that Kara and I have always had big dreams and our desires to live a certain way, have a certain kind of lifestyle, for our relationship to look a certain type of way, for us to even like how we want to school our kids. But we've always had our own desires and dreams of that at times it almost seem impossible, that seem a little big, right? But that's who we are, right? We're dreamers and visionaries, and we believe that this is possible. Yeah, certain times we have questioned it, but we've always held that belief that we can have whatever the fuck we want to have. And so as we're sitting there on this like peninsula or whatever, and just kind of ironically, the name of this place was called Dragon Plaza. And they had Dragon this and Dragon that.
Dragon Beach, Dragon Breath Zip Line, everything was Dragon.
And they were like, what are the odds of that? And so Kara's like, you know what? I think I want to have my own island too. And I was like, at first I was like, you're kind of crazy. What are you talking about? And then the more we talked about it, it's like, why not? What's stopping you from having those dreams? And for me, I don't know that we're going to have an island, but we're definitely going to have a piece of land. And we've been talking about it for a while. We've been talking about having this piece of land in Oaxaca, where my parents are from, and having our bigger retreats there. And this has been a dream of ours. And we've brought it to the forefront, but it hasn't been something that we've been extremely active on it. We did go to Mexico last year.
I think we've been pretty active on it.
Was it last year that we went to Mexico? Or
2023.
We went to Mexico and we went and explored it. And we're like, okay, so is this something that, you know, we're gonna be doing? And at that time, we're like, we're not ready for that yet. Our family's still pretty young. I don't think we can travel in this way yet. But it's quite a bit of a journey to go down there. You know, it's a long day of travel. So we're like, you know what? We're not ready for that phase yet. So let's make our property that we currently have here in St. Louis the training grounds for our retreats, to get really good at this, to curate them, and let's just build them there. And then eventually we'll revisit this idea again, and then we'll do that. And so that's what we've been doing. I built a Temazcal here, which we've done so many now. I don't know how many Temazcal we've done. We built an underground temple where we've been hosting our retreats. And so yeah, and so we've been having people come from all over the world here to do work with us here in St. Louis. And the whole idea this whole time is that one day when things, our property can no longer hold the volume or the expansion of the mystery school, of our retreats, that we're gonna move it to Mexico and have another property down there. And when you think about this, like at one point it was just like a thought, a vision, whatever you call it. And I want to say that I was really proud of us because we didn't limit ourselves. We weren't like, I don't think we can do that. And obviously there could have been 100 different reasons why we couldn't do it, right? Who built a Temazcal in their backyard? Who builds an underground temple in their backyard?
With 5 kids in the Midwest.
And even I remember like us telling our friends, we're like, oh, we're gonna build this temple, this underground temple here in our property. And they were like, yeah, sure, okay, sure, yeah, whatever you guys say. And then we were breaking ground like a few weeks later, and they were like, oh my God, you guys are fucking serious about it. You guys are actually doing it. We're like, yeah, we said we were gonna do it, so we're gonna do it. And so it was just a kind of a reflection of how big can we get? What is actually our true desires? What is it that we really want? And I see this playing out in a lot of our clients of just being like, I just want to have enough money to pay my bills, or I want to have enough money to just quit my job, or I just want to put out this little offer that maybe it'll give me some. And I'm like, why? Maybe there's a bigger desire there, but maybe they're still uncomfortable to say it to the world, or to claim it, or to even acknowledge it. And at times, Kara has voiced her desires or her dreams, and I'm like, that's a bit out there. But then yeah, why not? And it's been the same for me too.
Yeah, we both definitely do this in different ways, and I think we're gonna share all of these things with you guys so that you can really see what we're stepping into. But I'm like, yeah, I was like, oh, like they have this dragon, everything, but I was like, they're not like really truly honoring like the dragon, like what it really represents and like what it stands for. And I was, how dare they? If you're gonna use this, then you need to understand like the power of the dragon, and you need to have the reverence for it. And this isn't just for this isn't just like for a fucking tourist experience. There's something so much bigger here, right? Like where this is like an honoring of the womb of the feminine, and like the honoring of the earth, and you have no fucking clue. So I was like, we're gonna have our own fucking dragon island, and we're gonna do it in our way. And I was like, and I was really like, these people dared to fucking believe that they could just buy an island. And actually, so Royal Caribbean is the cruise line we went on. They own this like peninsula of Haiti. But they also, I found out, own an actual island in the Bahamas. So if they can fucking do it, of course, we can fucking do it. And I'm like already like looking up like how to fund this, because I'm like dead fucking serious. It has been our vision for a very long time. And it birthed many years ago, before we were even knew we were healers, that we wanted to have a retreat center. There were so many. I'm talking like a decade and a half ago. And then we started having our own. We knew there was going to be some sort of training facility. Hold on. We knew there would be some sort of training facility. But yeah, like Edmundo said, we went to Mexico, and it was like, wait, like we're already doing this at home. So we're going to keep doing that. We're going to grow it. This is like where we're going to really become masterful, right? Doing it in these more intimate, private ways. And then when it's time, we'll know, and then we'll expand, and then we'll build out our whole training facility. And Lauren and Kelly Hurley just joined. So Lauren also has played like a huge part in a lot of this vision of seeing this is going to be like an actual university that it's going to be in person, and people are going to come and study with us and all of these different master teachers. And I was like, whoa, yes, 100%. We have a whole vision for this that we've been percolating for years now. So here we are, we're on this island, and I was like, it's making decisions. It's fucking done. I'm going to have this. We're going to have this. We're going to do this. all the people we need are going to show up. The money's going to show up. I don't know exactly how. I don't know exactly 100% the timeline of it, but I'm ready to get the ball rolling this year. So we're doing that. That's an aspect of our vision that we're going to really be moving forward on this year.
And looking back, like there's so much evidence that this is how it works. Because looking back, it's everything that we've ever done. It's always come down to making that decision that you get to have it. As wild as it might seem, even in our relationship, we dared to say, okay, this is how we want our relationship to look like. And it might seem a little crazy, or maybe even at times, like when we were in a good place, it felt like it was like almost
not possible.
But we decided that we get to have it. And there's something that's we keep inviting each other into. Hey, listen, you can have it. You can have it. You can have it, right? And just make that decision. And now there's so much evidence that this is how it works.
Yeah.
Because everything that we've desired to this moment has come into reality. And I can always look back and be like, yeah, and we decided that it was possible, even when we couldn't understand the how, the timeline, where the money was going to come from, or who was going to be a player in the thing that we were trying to do. We didn't understand that, but we didn't let that get in the way of making that decision, of being like, this is what I want, this is what my desire is, this is what my vision is. Because for me, and I think for you too, I work with a lot of visions, right? Stuff comes to me in a vision, and I see it. And before it was, that's too much, or that's not possible. And now I've learned to honor that. I'm like, okay, I have a vision and I need to follow it. What is that? And then I explore it. And what is it? What is the true desire there? Freedom, liberation, support, wealth, love, whatever that thing means for me. And it's okay, yes, that's truly what I desire, and I get to have it. And that's the belief. I get to have it, we get to have it, and you get to have it. And so I guess we decided to make this video today to invite you into that. What is it that you truly desire, and not to put any barriers around it. Not to, like, even if it seems like unrealistic, to allow yourself to dream big, to let your desires lead you in this way.
Yeah, really permissioning you to think bigger. And we're doing this in like every aspect of our life, really. We have the Sacred Wealth Society that is coming out. Let's see, when do we start? We start when early February 6th or February 8th, something like that. We'll be doing like a formal launch here very soon. But even just that, giving ourselves permission to birth this body of work and this program, and the erotic alchemy, which felt so insane and wild. And even just using the word erotic, I was like, why do I have to do this? Why does it have to be the word erotic? I don't want to have to do that. But I trusted it because that's where I was pulled and led and called to. And there was understanding that there was something about it that maybe I couldn't fully see yet. And so we just keep trusting this guidance that we receive, trusting our desires, that they are leading us into our highest purpose and mission, and for the greatest good of everyone. And even if they seem seemingly egoic at times, still allowing that to be brought forth into its highest expression. And because it's your egoic desires still can be of service to your soul's purpose and mission. I know a lot of spiritual teachings say otherwise, but that's not what I have found to be true. All of my desires have led me down my divine path.
And even if it starts like with an egoic desire, is my belief that you are along the way, you are developed, right? Because sometimes it starts with a no desire, like for example, like glory. It's like, I want to have all the glory, and then you want to hold that whole container, you want to hold the whole vision, or whatever it might be, so you can be the hero of your own story. And along there, you get humble, you get clear on why is it that you want to have the whole entire glory. And at that point, you're developed, and you get to have it, right? You get to be the leader, and you get to have the life that you want. But maybe that the glory is no longer what excites you. Maybe it's something else that but you started with that.
Yeah. You
started with wanting to have that glory, and then somewhere in there it transformed into something else.
Yeah.
You got to alchemize into something else. It's definitely worth following, even if it feels ego.
Yes, I feel the same way about money. Like a lot of my business, I was like, I knew there was a deeper purpose, but also I wanted fucking money. And then over the years, I've been very much initiated around, and still continue to be, around not pedestalizing the money, around just seeing it as a resource and just really experiencing myself as wealth. And that money is just a byproduct of that. And there's still many, many lessons, right? And it being relational and all of these other teachers that money has been for me. So again, this is like us permissioning you, because a lot of times we feel so guilty with even wanting what we want, thinking it's going to destroy our marriage. It's going to mean we're going to abandon our families, or we're going to violate ourselves in some way to get what we want. And that may be true. That may be your path. That may be a lesson or an initiation that you walk. But again, when we make these decisions that we get to have what we want free of sacrifice, which is what we continuously come back to over and over, then we learn how to meet our own needs, and then how to advocate for our own needs in our life, and how to have that discernment of when we're choosing and when we're saying yes to things. So I feel like this is like it's a lot of power to wield, and it's a lot of responsibility. Absolutely, it is. And you also get to be developed into that. And that's the beauty of it.
Even like now, like sitting here thinking about it, even like fear. Fear has been a big guide for me. Like I remember like thinking about, I'm 44 now, and a few years ago, thinking about, shit, I'm almost halfway through my life, and what have I done? Am I living in my purpose? And I used to have another business, and just was like, you know what? This is not me. Sure, it served me. It supported my family. I learned so much, and I'm grateful for that. But it's not aligned to me. It's not what I'm here to do. And I started thinking about that. I'm like, so do I just continue this business, and then like when I'm 65 or whatever, and I look back and I'm like, fuck, I just did this thing that didn't fulfill me, but I just settled, and I never made that decision. I never felt worthy of having that business that I wanted. Is that how I want to live my life? Do I want to be that 65-year-old man, 70-year-old man, and just regretting that I never went for it? I couldn't do that. And this fear that I really felt in my body, when it was a big like catalyst to say, fuck this. I'm gonna go for my dreams. I'm gonna align myself to my purpose. And yeah, it's taking some time. When I didn't, in that moment when I made that decision, it wasn't about like how or when or whatever. It was just like, I don't know, but I'm gonna follow it. And somewhere in there, I'm gonna be shown. And I did. I was shown. I could have never guessed, whenever I made the decision, that life was gonna look this way. That I was gonna be running a sweat lodge and holding this retreat, talking to my wife about buying a piece of property in Mexico. None of that. But now that I'm here, it's so aligned. I'm so grateful and glad that myself, 5, 6, 7 years ago, made that decision.
Yeah. That
trusted that I could have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was all based off fear.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like thinking of so many other things. Okay, so also, maybe we mentioned this. I think we did mention this, but like this is also part of our 2025 vision. And we talked a little bit about this towards the end of last year, but it just all ties together, like the bigness, the grandiosity of it all. And we had an experience last year where I was like, oh my gosh, like I want to like essentially make love to the world with my energy to liberate humanity. And it was like this really like dark desire, but I knew it came from a pure good place. And I didn't know how that would look, but I did start having like visions of us in a stadium, and like a lot of the women, like the other dragon mothers that they work with, like we're in these like hooded capes, and we're like standing atop this stadium, and we're just like activating like 40,000 people in this stadium. And they came for that. They wanted this from us. And then here, Edmundo meets Aaron Ali, and he's a musician, and they have this connection, and they just are vibing when it comes to the shamanic music. And then they're like, let's do it, let's have a band. And you guys be a part of it.
It was kind of like that. It was more like me and Aaron, we had a connection, and it was like, holy shit, dude, that was badass, the way we created music, and this and that, let's explore it. And then, so we're in conversation, talking through back and forth about, okay, so what does this mean? How are we going to do it? Blah, blah, blah. And then I'm like, you know what? I think Kara's supposed to be part of this. I think she's supposed to do her like oracle shit. So I tell Kara, hey, by the way, we're starting a band and you're going to be in it.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I am? And he's yeah, you're going to do your oracle shit. It's going to be fine. You know what to do. And I was like, okay. I definitely, I dabble, like I do a little drumming, a little rattling, and little things like this for some of my sessions, but it's very minimal. I don't consider myself much of a musician or a singer or anything, these kinds of things. I've played with some like vocal toning and things like that, but that's it. So then they gather in, they get Siriatma, and they're like, Lauren, you're going to do, come on, Lauren, come do it with us too. And then there's hosting band practices. And I have this big mission, but then I got excited because I was like, oh my God, this is how we're going to spread that liberation. This is how we're going to do that. This is how we get to share this transmission and this frequency. And I was like, okay, I'll play around here. I fuck with this. Let's do it. Like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I'll bring my own little pieces in.
But even like that, right? Like, it's like Aaron and I, we just have this like spark, and we're like, I don't know where this is leading, but let's follow it. It feels good. We're creating this, and then here comes Kara and joining, and then we invited Siriama and Lauren. It sounds a little crazy, but fuck it, let's see what's there. And we're just following the breadcrumbs, right? And then already, like, beautiful stuff is already birthing. And I don't know where this is going to lead, but it's exciting. Aaron is, yeah, dude, we're going to be fucking traveling, and we're going to be in front of a bunch of people. And I believe it when he says it, right? And I don't, like I said, I don't know where this is all going to lead, what how it's going to look like. But even just now, last night he came over, and we were just messing around with some instruments. And then next thing you know it, Kara is like opening her throat, and she started toning, and then Aaron starts also like chanting, and this beautiful melody between the masculine and the feminine started, like, they start dancing, and I had chills all over my body, and I'm drumming, and were we drumming too? You were drumming as well. And so I'm like, just that in itself, for you to find your voice, for you to like even have that experience, it's already worth it. It's already worth it. And so again, dare to dream big. And we're gonna have our first show, and we're all gonna do this. And I told Kara, what's the difference between, because I know there's so many talented musicians, and I know there's so many people that have medicine in this world. The difference is that some allow themselves to actually believe that they can have it, and some of them don't, and that's the only difference. Some of them say, you know what, I can be that change. I can be that person on stage doing this and sharing this message and changing people's lives. I believe I can. And there's somebody out there that says, nah, that's too far-fetched. Nah, that would never happen to me. And again, we go back to like, where are you stopping from dreaming big? And I think if we all sit there, can be still, we'll listen to that. What is that true desire? For us is, I want to make 6 figures. I want to make 7 figures a year. I want to have my relationship be this way. I want to have this type of, I want to look this certain type of way. And whatever it is, you get to have it.
Yeah. Ease, pleasure, bliss, love, sex, be nurtured, be supported, be taken care of, like all the things. Oh yeah, wealth, maybe there's status, there's so many things that I think we desire.
Just make that decision and know that you will be developed into that vision. And we don't know how long it takes, but it takes as long as it takes because it's worth it. Yeah. Because it's worth it. And so today, as you're sitting there and you're thinking like, where am I playing small? Just to open up to the possibilities. And then, you know, even if it feels irrational, nonsensical, if it's triggering, if it's like, ooh, that makes me feel like I want to barf, or I have that snot in my stomach, I don't know if I could do that. What about if it fucking fucks up my life or shit? Just make that decision and you will be shown. Yeah. You will be shown, you will be developed, and maybe it's not exactly truly what you wanted, but along the way, you'll find out. It'll
be refined, yeah. You might get what you thought you wanted and then be like, oh, hell no, this ain't it.
But at least you'll know.
But at least you'll know, at least you'll have went for it. And not just live with regret. Kate says, I want it all. Done, bitch, it's yours.
What else? Let's see if we have some comments.
Yeah, let's see here. I have more things to share too. Okay. Amy says it all does happen with a decision. She says, my 90-year-old grandfather told me, have fun and follow my dreams while I'm young. Best advice ever. And Tracy Bird says, hi y'all. I said hi back. Amy says, I love that you are playing in this realm, referring to the music. So beautiful. And she says, I love dreaming big and having you both as inspiration. This is such an expansive temple talk. Hold on to your boots because there's more. And I think Amy already knows this because I talked to her about this. If you guys missed so every month we do a dragon circle it's just me and the ladies. Maybe the men can nudge you to do your own someday.
Maybe.
But yeah, so when we talked about this then, and it was a really great group of women and it was really powerful. But also like since early last year, there's like a group of us and we've been talking about creating an app for the Dragonite tribe. And so we're holding a vision for that too. And again, I don't know 100% the timeline on all of it, but I do know that it's going to happen because I've seen it repeatedly and I keep feeling called back to it. Yeah. So it's just exciting, and it feels like part of two. I think I talked about on the last temple talk we did how I went to Lauren's Wake the Dragon Sound experience, and I had this message from the primordial mother around like it's time to really fully be seen. But it wasn't just me being seen, it was like all of the dragon healers being seen. And I felt like, oh, the app would just be such a perfect place for us to all bring our medicine and bring our gifts and share bits and pieces of it in that space. Again, like we are really creating something very unique, very innovative. No one else that I am aware of is doing anything quite like this, with a tribe that they're working with, devoted healers, with very powerful individuals in this way. And we're really proud of that, and we're really excited for it. And it's become, and I think we've said this before too, it's become bigger than us. And we're okay with that. And we're okay with having other people like run certain aspects of it. It doesn't even matter. Like I don't even need to be the one doing it. I just want it for the tribe. And that took so much for me to get to that place. So much of dismantling a lot of fears and dismantling that desire for glory or the control, and feeling like I had to be the one to hold it all. If I didn't do it, was it going to be done right? Or all of those things that a lot of us carry. And so that's also like the beauty of dreaming and visioning so big, is that, yeah, like you get to die and surrender to your fears and your stories time after time. But it's so fucking worth it, because what you receive in return is so much greater than what you could have ever possibly fathomed in your small, limited, fear-based, controlling belief system.
Yeah, that's something that for me is like a not now. It makes total sense. Like the more I give, the more I get in return. And so I want to give as much as possible, right? Like I want other people to have it as well. Like, I think it would mean nothing if Karen and I get to have it, but nobody else is getting it. It just wouldn't work. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
This old paradigm of like competition is just old.
Yeah.
It doesn't work anymore. We're in a new era of collaboration, and I want to collaborate with other people, and I want them to also have win. That feels really good, and to walk aside with other people. And I think that's what we're really trying to create here with this group and with the tribe and everything, that we all get to have it. Yeah. We all get to have it.
Yeah, and it's actually making me think of like, these are actually my like legit codes. And I don't know yours because I don't know your chart in this way, but this is not it's not the human design, not astrology. What's the other one? Oh my gosh. Why can I not think of it? Gene keys, thank you. It's my gene keys, and my gene keys are, I have the gift of expansion and the gift of super abundance, amongst other things like timelessness and other things. But like literally under vocation, my gift is super abundance. So I am innately and naturally like an expander, and I feel like us creating Sacred Well Society as just an extension of me in the highest expression of my vocation gift. And Edmundo's name in and of itself literally means wealthy protector. Edmundo means wealthy protector. So there's some vibes there.
Any more comments?
Yeah, Danielle's like, gene keys, thank you. Yes. Wow. Can't think of it. Yeah, no, it's just really exciting, and we have all of these really cool things happening. And of course, like Sacred Well Society is like also becoming the ideas dropping in for me. I don't even think I've told you all of them, but like I'm so excited to guide people through all of the various different parts integrations that I have done over the years. And I've like never shared that. Like I've done this work privately with clients, but not fully in group settings. So I'm really excited to bring that, like really integrating like the part of you that has like a deprivation kink, or the part of you that feels like a failure, the part of you that's just straight up your scarcity part, that's just that part of you that just lives in fucking lack all the time. And I have literally myself went in and reintegrated all of these different parts of me, and it has made such a difference. I really feel that it has allowed me to, as I love those parts of myself that are seemingly unlovable, it's given me so much permission to go bigger in these dreams and visions and thoughts and just be like, fuck it. I know that I can do this. I don't know how. I don't believe that I have to do it alone, but I'm deciding, and I know that the universe is already rearranging to make all of these things.
Yeah. And for me, what's real life for me right now that I'm going like deep. Like I've been navigating this for many years, but right now it's all about like the dark feminine descent, and it's offering me so much. I've been doing this work for many years with Kara and some of the other containers, when I've been facilitating this in a very intuitive way and understanding what I'm putting down. But lately, I've understood it like in such a deep way, and I feel like there's so much medicine there. And not only because the dark feminine teachings are been around for a long time, but I feel like there's not a lot of men that have taken the time to really understand the power and the challenges, the programming that has to happen for women to make that dark feminine descent. And I feel like more women need support in that and understand as they're navigating this piece, the importance of it. And again, I feel like I have something to offer to the space as a man. And a lot of this work has been done in women's group settings and amongst women. And maybe it hasn't been safe to bring men into the circles or into this work. But for me, like I was talking to Kara, it's just who I've been since I was, I can recall, since I was 6 years old, having this love for the feminine and seeing the feminine in such a interesting way that most men around me didn't, and then it has led me to so many different things, and some of the most powerful work that Kara and I have done has been that. It's my invitation for her to descend into her dark feminine and loving her in that way and holding her as she makes that descent and constantly inviting her into that descent. And it was Kara's invitation then for me to do this work with other women of the importance. And as of right now, it's like I said, I understood what I was doing, but lately it's like the depth has been like rocking my world. Holy shit. There's so much distortion there around the feminine and the masculine, and I feel like it's time to heal that.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's also something like where you have dared to allow yourself, where we both have really, because it definitely pushed both of our edges, and we both had to work through a lot to even bring this work forth to the world in this way, because it definitely threatened both of our safety and belonging and our relationship and our love. And there were so many fears that had to be confronted in that, but we also just knew that we had to do this, and but we also had to make some vows to ourselves and to each other. This is what we're available for, and this is not what we're available for, and we'll do this, but only if we don't sacrifice ourselves, our family, or a marriage for it. And that was ultimately what paved this safe passageway for us to navigate all of this and cultivate a really deep inner self-trust, but also trust with each other. Not that we don't make mistakes or fuck up or have ruptures or get into fights and different things. Like we absolutely do, and we still hurt each other and all of those things, but we're constantly working on, okay, how do we repair this? How do we move forward in a new way? And we're doing this, everything we teach, we have walked through such an embodied way. And that's really, you use the word understand. You use the word, most men haven't taken the time to understand it. But honestly, I feel like most men haven't been initiated into it as you have. And it's a very embodied, lived experience that you have had with the feminine mysteries and with walking this path as the sacred masculine, even the dark masculine, as literally playing like Pluto, or like playing this role of, initiating women into their power. That's how I often see him, and many archetypal roles that you have played as we have done so together. But to actually not just read about them in a book as the myth, or even do a meditation on it, but to actually live it out in your life. This is what we have done with Lilith, with Persephone, with Pluto, now with Inanna, all of these different ways. You could even say in some regards Mary Magdalene. So in the Black Madonna, so many, right? So many of these experiences have been physically actually lived and walked. Both of us have walked in these footsteps of these archetypal beings.
Yeah, and like I said, this work called me like many years ago. Like I said, it's been my whole life. And I've been doing this so intuitively, right? Mm-hmm. Just doing the work intuitively. And that's how I work. And then I started going deep into the teachings of that. And I'm like, holy shit, like everything that I've been doing intuitively, like I'm making sense of it now. Like everything that I've done has had a purpose and a meaning on why I've done it the way I've done it. And it's been beautiful to see that. As you were talking, something that I think is worth like mentioning is that as we made this decision to do this kind of work, part of that decision was that...
What's this kind of work, do you mean?
Everything we do, the mystery school, the work with the dark feminine, the wealth, our relationship, our retreats, everything that we do, as we make that decision that we get to have this lifestyle, this work, that we're aligned to our purpose and to our calling, one thing that was part of that was that we got to do it messy. That there was a agreement also. Part of that decision was that, okay, we're okay with not getting it right every single time. Yeah. And even if we don't get it right, even if it's messy, that we have this agreement that we'll clean it up, that we'll learn from it, that we'll expand from it, that we'll squeeze the teachings out of it. And that has really liberated us to navigate this life and to say, and not be fearful of, what about if I fuck it up? What about if I don't get it right? What about if my decision affects my partner or whatever? It was such a beautiful clause there, or term.
Yeah, it was a clause
that we involved in making this decision. Hey, you know what? We're gonna do this, and it's gonna be very activating. And we have big dreams, and we have big goals, and we're okay with being messy. Being messy.
Yeah, we didn't want to be afraid of moving and being punished for our mistakes. We didn't want to punish ourselves, and we didn't want to be punished by each other. But we were also we were afraid to hurt each other, because walking the left-handed path is a dangerous path. It's said to be dangerous. And I think that it can be, if you don't have the proper guidance, if you don't have checks and balances, you can get lost. The desires, those primal raw desires, they can envelop you if you don't know how to bring them into their highest expression, or if you don't have sacred vows with yourself of, hey, I'm going to do this, but I'm only available to bring my power forth in right relationship. Not that you won't misuse your power, you will, but you're going to receive the appropriate lessons to then bring it back into love, right? Then to bring it back into alignment to the heart, back to your center. And these are the vows that we have taken, and everyone that we work with, we require that they take those same vows, or we won't teach you, quite frankly, because it's that important to us, because that has been the biggest piece of this work. As the divine brought it to me, it was ooh, but this could really fuck people up. We understood that, right? That power is misused and abused all over the world in every aspect, right? In government and schools and the medical system and all of these places, corporations, everything. And we didn't want to contribute more of that. We wanted to be a solution to that. And we knew that if we were going to have this great power of being able to work with ancient elemental magic, to be able to create our own reality, that we had to do so with deep integrity and responsibility. Again, not to say that we don't have our own shit to clean up, not to say that we're not still human, not to say that we don't still make mistakes. We do all the time, but that we're always willing to look at it and we're always willing to clean it up, really no matter what it takes.
And this is something that's been beautiful within our tribe or our movement, because we've always extended this to every single client, every single friend, everybody that's in our world. That's always been on offer. Like Kara's saying, this is what we lead with. Hey, we're going to do this work, but yeah, we might not get it right. There might be some shit that comes up, and we're always available to clean it up. We're always available to have that conversation of, okay, there was a rupture. Maybe we didn't do it right. Maybe there was some triggering. Was that a line? Was our ego leading? And we're open to that conversation, and we've always extended to everybody around us, and everybody that's worked with us understands this, that they can always come to us for that conversation, no matter what.
And we have had the most practice at this between ourselves. And ongoingly continues to always be that.
Absolutely. And we've had that very activating conversations with some of our clients, and I'm very proud that every single time there was a resolution. Okay, all right, I get it. Okay, you know what? I take ownership of that. Maybe that wasn't the best way to deliver that, or maybe whatever. And this is what I'm navigating through, and then bringing them into our own process, and to always look for that resolution, for that to clean it up. Because again, we are okay with getting messy, but we're also are committed to cleaning it up.
Yeah, repair is huge, Amy says. Yeah, and it is, and. Like, again, I think that the key here is as we go for big dreams, as you go for your big dreams, as you go for your big visions, we share this so that you understand that it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be 100% smooth. This is why people often don't go for the bigger visions and the bigger dreams and the bigger desires, is because they're not sure that they can trust themselves to hold that, or they have maybe a fear of not getting it right. And like, that's just a part of it. And when you can accept that, then you'll be so much more free to move into those bigger dreams and visions and spaces. And that opens up your capacity for receivership. And we talked about this on the last Temple Talk. And this is like what we're going to be really digging into at very deep levels inside of Sacred Will Society. And we're going to be helping people really dismantle all the various different threads and belief systems around this, right, that stop us from our receivership and from having, and it all starts with ourselves, right? This process started with us loving ourselves, all of our shadows, all of our not so lovable parts that we didn't even know were there. Yeah,
because even as we're talking about the being like some of the desires being ego driven, or some of the desires being fear driven, it's all good. You learn how to love those ego desires and fear is what alchemizes them for your highest good, for your highest purpose. And so we don't deny them, we don't make them wrong, we don't tell them that you shouldn't be having those desires. They all play a part. It's been our experience, like I said, some shit starts with it like that, and then it evolves. Then you get clear. So why deny them if they're also there to be that spark for your next evolution, for your next expansion?
Yeah.
And so you know that there's some narrative, some teachings out there that you shouldn't have these, that they're wrong. I don't believe that. I believe that they're all here to serve your highest good.
Yeah.
High self.
Yeah, I did recently have some really like dark desires that I brought to Edmundo, and I was like, ooh, I don't know about these. These are dark. I don't know what this means. And then after I got done questioning that, I was like, you know what? I don't know where this is taking me, but I do owe it to myself to explore it. And so I just gave myself permission. And it's opened up some really beautiful conversations. They're really vulnerable. They're sensitive. And we don't know where it will take us and where it goes, but we do trust that it's guiding us somewhere. And that's all we can do. And we've done this over and over again. So we do have proof and evidence, and we have developed a capacity to trust ourselves and hold ourselves through these explorations. And we want to invite you into that same process and teach you how to walk that yourself. Again, this is what Sacred Will Society is going to be for. These are what our containers are for. This is what we do inside of our apprenticeship, we create a container for you to explore your deepest soul gifts, your most powerful gifts. Same thing at one-on-one containers, all of it, right? Dragoness, it's all that. All of it is this. And there's just more and more available to us. Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions? I know there was somebody asked if they could ask questions.
Oh, that was Liz earlier. Yeah, she said she might have some questions. If you have questions, even if it's seemingly unrelated, you're welcome to. But I did have one other thing I wanted to share, is that we also have another part of our 2025 vision is as we we introduced erotic alchemy last year in kind of a mini form. We're going to be expanding on it this year. It's become a 12-module program. It's also going to be the foundational curriculum inside of Sacred Well Society. And we're going to be bringing forth some live in-person erotic alchemy experiences where we're going to be guiding you and teaching you how to utilize these in real life practice. Again, I don't have any specific dates for that yet. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in a different dimension right now as we're talking about this. But it's definitely coming, so we'll keep you posted on that. But just stay tuned for all of the amazingness that's birthing forth and coming your way in 2025. We want to take you along and bring you in and show you the depth of your power and what you can truly create.
For sure.
Amy Bolton says, eek! Yeah, we're really excited. And Tracy Bird, I guess she was talking about her gene keys is that she creates space and finds a path and holds love. That's so needed. Yeah, so needed.
And it's also beautiful that you get to claim it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so
complete?
I feel like, hold on. I did want to give you guys like a little, when did we decide that, I think we're doing it on the 16th, right? Is that right?
For the free.
Is that right? I think so. So I think it's the 16th, so just mark your calendar. I don't remember the time because I don't have it pulled up right now, but we're going to be doing a sacred wealth initiation. It's going to be a really beautiful, like ceremonial, ritual type of experience that we're going to facilitate. It's going to be free. So just mark your calendar and it's like a save the date. And then on the 16th of January, and more information will be coming out for that very soon, like really soon.
Like tomorrow.
I might need 2 days, but yeah. Okay. All right. So all the things in the works, and like we would love to hear from you guys. Like, what are your big visions for 2025?
I was gonna say I want to give you guys some homework.
Yeah.
But I would love for you guys to really sit with this. Like, what are you wildest, craziest, out of this world desires, dreams, visions for yourself, and to allow yourself to be ridiculous with it, to just really let yourself claim it, to be like, you know what, I want to do this that seems impossible, that seems far-fetched, that seems like people are going to laugh at me even if I say it.
I think what I'll do is I'm going to put some posts in the group for everyone to respond to, like a little series of posts, and so everyone can start to drop into it. Cool. I think that'll be easier because I want to see what y'all are bringing. What's your word of the year? Mine's expansion with and also like body. So I just keep hearing body. So there's this huge body piece, but also this like wild expansion. What's yours? Do you have a word already or not yet?
Actually, I don't think I have. I don't think I've explored that. I feel like I feel like I have a mullet right now or something. Do I have a mullet? It looks like I have a mullet. It's not the vibe I'm trying to go for, but maybe.
Is that your word of the year? Is like
mullet?
Mullet.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, here we go. Amy says, "Hi, mine. I'll share on the post. Easier for sure." Tracy's word of the year is love. Danielle's is success, all capital letters.
Nice.
I love it.
I think for me, maybe I guess it's wealth.
Yeah. Last year, your word was visibility.
Yeah. I think this year as well.
Yeah.
In all the ways.
Okay. Yeah, that was my word last year. Sacred wealth was mine last year.
Oh, never mind then. I'll have to switch it up then.
Angels is liberation. Ooh, love it. Yeah. Okay. All right. I look forward to hearing from more of you, and then I'm going to ask a few questions in the group, and you guys can. Oh, dripping in riches, Amy says.
Nice.
Ooh. Overflow is also a big theme of mine this year. Like, I've been really feeling the overflow vibes, and that's been a thing. So I love that.
Expansion too, man.
That's my word. Expansion.
Oh, for this year?
Yes.
Okay.
You can copy me.
Never mind. Never mind.
Your initiations with the same word can be quite different. Keep it, Danielle says.
No. You can't do that.
Yeah, I feel like overflow, expansion, and then there's this like whole body component. So I feel like a lot of people are feeling the body for this year.
Yeah.
I feel like when it comes to expansion, like you have to, and like when we're talking like energetic realms, like we have to take care of our body, our physical vessel, in order to expand our capacity to higher frequencies, greater, more, all the things, right? Mm-hmm. Money, success, visibility, love. Ultimately, I think it all comes down to love. It's just like that deeper receivership.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys next Sunday.
We'll see you next Sunday. Don't forget to mark your calendars for what I say, the 16th. Save the date, Sacred Wealth Initiation. And yeah. All right.
Don't be surprised if you see us on stage anytime soon.
You know what we forgot to talk about?
What?
We forgot to talk about Clara and Jenna being our new resident sex educator and astrologer.
That's what I was thinking about expansion. I was thinking about this group and how we're expanding and how we're bringing all this value to this group. And yes, Clara, be looking out for Clara. She's going to be doing her sex talk or education next Thursday, this coming Thursday. And Jenna is going to be doing her astrology reading the following Thursday. And I have some other people in mind that I'm going to be talking to here soon about also coming to this group and adding more value, because they have a lot of value.
Yeah, we'll create some events and invite everyone. But yeah, just keep your eyes, like, you know how you can add Dragonite Tribe to like your favorites? You should probably do that, because this year you're going to really want to see what's going down in this space. Yeah. Okay. Love you all. Thank you so much. Reach out to us if you have any questions. Tracy, you're so welcome. Thank you for joining us.
And invite your friends too.
Yeah.
Tell them to come over. Tell them to come and join this group. And
bring your peeps.
Like I said, we're going to be adding a lot of value to this group, and I really feel very, I guess, not excited, but
excited.
Sure, what's the word? Optimistic of like all the value that we're going to be adding to this group.
Yeah. It's going to be a great space. It already is, but it's becoming even more vibrant and alive and fun and just all the things. Yeah. Taking on all of the whole DNA of the tribe. Yeah. Okay. Carla, love you. I see you. Okay. Thank you all so much. We'll talk to you guys next week, 11 a.m. Central Time. Bye-bye. Mwah. Oh, that's not what I'm doing. Wrong thing.